Check that time. It must be queer o'clock because here comes the QueerCentric with your host, Queerly Jonny. Hello, everybody. It is your favorite time of the week with your favorite host, Jonny, here with another episode. An episode I think people have wanted. Listen, it's annoying. I am the one you are to think is amazing. But no, Ian Kelly, welcome back.
Well, thank you for having me back.
Yes, people, first of all, it's kind of uncomfortable for me because people say things about you. Just if you're not aware. Yeah, people say things about you. Okay,
good things, bad things?
You are our thirst trap.
I'm like the talk of the town.
Apparently, yes, yeah. Which is great. So for you, because you know my heart is always for our queerdos, we brought Ian Kelly back. We always have a good time. We got some really good clips.
Yeah, that was fun.
Out of our last.
Although I have to say, like, not having headphones on, I feel like that's like my comfort. Like,
it does. Well, especially you, because you've probably done it forever now.
Right.
Like 20 years.
It's weird to talk without like headphones on.
Yeah, or a mic. I have the problem with the mic, not having a mic in front. Like I've always wanted to be the gay Oprah. So this is how I should be. But yeah, not having a mic that's right there. Do you know?
It's a comfort bubble.
Here's a secret. When I do one of the other podcasts, we don't use the mic, but I still have it right next to me because it's my comfort. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't care. No one knows I'm not using the mic. Now you do. So I wanted
it. Feels right.
Yeah. And just for reality, my phone is going to ding, apparently, like that. I could turn it off, but why? Because we were doing something important before we started the show, and it was looking at a young picture of FDR.
Shocking.
Pause and go do it right now, because what? He was a beautiful young man.
Well, because you think of FDR and you think of, you know...
Yeah, you think he was older and he, was in the wheelchair, which doesn't mean you're not sexy, but I'm just saying, the blanket, so you weren't sure if it was grandma or... Yeah, but, and of course, he had the greatest lesbian wife in the whole world.
Yep, good for him.
With Eleanor Roosevelt. I freaking love her.
But yeah, 20-year-old FDR, big fan.
Look it up. And Andrew Mark Carlos, one of my friends and just a beautiful man who has been on here now is the problem. Blame him. He did this to us. So, anyways, I'm super excited to have you back. One of the things we talked about last time that I want to talk about, because it got the most, people had the best time. They thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
Which is we had this exchange where I said, do you consider yourself part of the bear community?
Oh,
and you said no, and then you said, should I? And I'm like, yes.
You just
in 2 seconds.
An honorary member.
Exactly, and he is, whether he realizes or not. But it started me thinking about tribes. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about tribes in our community. I think it's gotten crazy.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So, but when there is a group of us out there, I mean, I definitely ascribe to a tribe, but there is a group of us out there that people are like, I exist as a gay person.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was supposed to get a T-shirt and join a team.
A flag and...
Yeah. So tell me about that.
I mean, I love that for people.
For sure.
But I've never really thought of it that way for myself before, I guess. And before we started today, we were talking about how many tribes there are now. But I feel like I might be able to list like 4.
Oh, we're going to play that game in a minute because I have a list on my cards, and I for a very long time just thought, oh, well, I have specialized tribes because I like to call myself a delicacy. So if you like me, you really like me.
Sure.
Because I just thought, it's because it's outside the normal body type, and so that made sense.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that we all have been put into little categories. So I'm guessing, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people who are like, no, I'm queer, I'm gay. I mean, that's my thing.
Yeah,
I haven't thought beyond it. Is that how you work? You're just like, this is just who I am.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either side. I mean,
no, I don't either.
Subscribe to a tribe, love that.
Right?
If not, then great.
Right? I would love, everybody comment below, do you consider yourself part of a tribe? If so, what tribe? And if not, what's your opinion on it? God, please no. It's exhausting. So I decided, I want to talk to Ian about this. And so I go online, mistake.
Yeah.
First of all...
Now that's in your browsing history forever.
Exactly. I will say, it pops up some interesting videos that I don't mind. But when you're looking at it, there are websites that I feel like they are completely dedicated to the 8,012 tribes that you can be part of.
Right.
Now, given I only wrote one list, right?
That's
Okay,
a long
but I
list.
want to name some tribes you're thinking, and I want to see
Name some tribes. Okay. Well, bear.
Ding.
Twink.
Yes. Ding.
Otter.
Yes.
Pup.
It's not on there. That should be on there.
You
I
think
forgot
so?
about that. Yeah. Okay. See, there's even more than my list. Okay, so pup is a good one.
Okay.
All of these others, I'm like, they should feel like they're a
Right.
thing. Also, do they need to be a thing? So, you got 4, you even added 1, which is...
And I threw out 4 just as, like, rough guess.
Right? Well, you know, anytime now, because I think probably 10 years ago when people were talking about twinks, which to me I think was the original tribe. Because that's the first thing you learn when you come out is, oh, there's things called twinks.
Well, and that's what most people get called.
Exactly, especially when they're young, coming out, but then the twunks happen.
Yep.
And that was confusing for me for a bit, but they're like muscle twinks.
Right.
Would you say? They're like, because they're still smooth.
And then
they're still within that thing.
Like, twunk versus otter is just hair, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because only because that goes into my, otters cross into bear
right.
world.
And then
so
diagrams are crossing.
Listen, I love me a good otter. I love me most men. But, no, what's fascinating, so a twunk is your twink on steroids.
Right.
Not literally, but like they're smooth, they're in their 20s, and they're just beefier.
Okay.
That's how if you guys have a different, please feel free to share. But that's how I see a twunk, so it's like a beefier twink.
Right.
You know what I mean? So otters are thinner. They don't have to be muscular. They're a tapered down version, and they do have the hair, like the hair on there, but they might not have any facial
Bear
hair.
light.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bear diet version. So that is like more, but they don't even have to have facial hair, which is kind of fun because then if you're at a bar and you're like flirting with someone, you're like, "Are you?" And then you can look down their shirt.
It's
and
a
then
surprise.
There you go, with permission, obviously. Yeah, it's a surprise. But yeah, so otters I get, but then something new that I learned recently was wolves. Wolves are a thing, and I thought that would be under bears, but it's not.
Okay.
A wolf is a daddy who is like a muscle bear. It's very crazy how we very specifically.
It seems like that should just be in the bear category.
Right? Doesn't that? And that's a wolf. Well, I'm never going to remember
correct me if I'm wrong,
what
but
that
I mean,
is.
bears can also be muscle daddies, right?
Right? I think. Here's the thing. This is what I tell the gays. We love to be organized.
We're going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to be like, how do you not know this?
But I kind of love it when I get in trouble. Well, I mean, not for the kink side, but because it means people are interacting. Just talk to me. Please just talk
Anyone.
to me. Yeah. So, wolves are weird. I didn't know about them until a few years ago.
Yeah.
But yes, they are. So we recently spoke to, he has an album out, he's an ex-porn star, Colton Haynes, I think. Colton Hayes. Anyways, a beautiful man.
Yeah.
And he's 61 years old and definitely he's a wolf.
Okay.
If I ever saw one. And lives down in Palm
That's when it
Springs.
clicked. You're like, I get it.
I was like,
wolf.
that's where it is. I also offered to be in his next video as a go-go boy. And he
Perfect.
said yes.
Stay tuned for that.
Exactly. But what is interesting about is, so when I was first out, I was a large man. I was in my 20s and I was 325 pounds. So I was a large boy and I discovered the chub community. Obviously, you find your tribe, your people. And that's when I started understanding these different categories. Because even in that world, they're very specific.
Yeah.
And
different
then
segments.
I lost a lot of weight, and then I became a bear. And someone let me know that's... See, so I was passing it on.
Sure.
Letting you know. Someone let me know that, now I was a bear. And then I discovered more categories. I just thought
it's
it was
like Harry
then.
Potter. You get the letter through the window.
I love this idea. Let's do that. But there's a thing, gays, talking to you. We love to organize, and sometimes I think it's kind of like someone who likes to organize that gets a label maker, and it gets out of hand.
Labels on everything.
Yes, I feel like maybe. Like, find your tribe.
Maybe a label for the drawer, but everything in the drawer doesn't also need a label.
I wrote an article years and years and years ago about how I felt like I was a gay man with a passport. because I was friends and was in all these different communities,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine now. I do identify as a bear, but I just don't like it doesn't mean my tastes are only this way, and it doesn't mean I don't go out there and
of course.
You know what I mean? See, so I'm always curious that people who ascribe so hard to to a label and they can't get outside of that. So like, no shame, but also I hope you're not letting it be a
right. Well,
restriction.
I think like a lot of times in the community, you have to hide things for so long that when you don't anymore, you just want to like latch onto something and be like, this is what I am.
Exactly.
Which is great for a lot of people.
You want an identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, because you didn't have it.
Yep.
But then you can have 80 identities if you would like them. And I don't necessarily think labels are always helpful.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially as we get more and more, as we evolve more and more, and things become way less. It becomes more open to be, whatever you feel you are.
And you're just putting yourself almost in too much of a box.
Yeah.
And missing out on a lot of things that you could be a part of.
Exactly. It also, it brought some other things up. So I was talking to a friend. So by the time this comes out, I would have been the big 4-8 for a week, which I love. I celebrate my birthday, and that's a great thing. But I was talking to a friend, and labels also are interesting because it brought up a conversation of passing.
Right.
So obviously that conversation is huge if you're in the trans community, but it's also a thing because my friend's like, hey, I want to take you out. Let me take you to dinner. Here's a bar I really enjoy. Well, I know this bar by reputation only. I'm just saying, I said, listen, my only requirements is good beer, good food, and that I don't get queer bashed on the way out the door. I said, because this doesn't hide easily.
3 important things.
Exactly, right. This doesn't hide.
Right.
He's passing.
Yeah.
And I have no desire to pass.
Sure.
Or I've played, horrible alcoholic straight men in movies, but it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can do that, but you just want to go.
Well, you want to
be who
relax and have a nice time and not have to worry about people looking at you a certain way.
So things have changed a lot in 20 years.
Yeah.
For me, especially for coming out. Labels can be important and a place so you can identify where you're safe. But what do you think about this passing idea? Like I said, we talk about it in the trans community, but it is still a thing.
It is still a thing. And I think for a lot of people, they're not even necessarily trying to pass. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so you can't really blame them for that either.
Yeah. Well, and when you're out and about, I don't think you're thinking about.
No.
I mean, we've all been to places that you're definitely thinking about.
Well, and I think that's like the end goal. You shouldn't have to be always thinking about it.
Right.
Like wherever you fall on the spectrum, that's kind of like the end goal. You don't want to have to think about it.
Yeah.
But the reality is you do a lot of places.
Well, and I think because there are wonderful cities where most of the time they're way more accepting and open.
Absolutely.
We live very close to Idaho.
Yeah.
It's not always a place. Like, I love my city, but sometimes, certain areas, depends on the time of day.
Well, and even you go to like a Seattle or Portland, and that's just what you see. You see people holding hands, and you see people like just being together and who they are, like not thinking about it. Where in Spokane or cities like Spokane, all over the country, I mean, you do have to think about it.
Yeah, and so I think
it just
about
like
that.
becomes subconscious almost, where you do have to kind of hide those things, or if you're with somebody in public, you just get used to like maybe not showing as much affection as you would.
See, and I hate that with all my heart and I'm a loud human.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. So it's very, I'm not great. Like, I think if I'm quiet, maybe that's my defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Is if I feel like, but I think there's a past privilege. Even in the queer community, in the gay community, there's this passing privilege if someone has access to that.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I don't think we think about it, especially if we have that past privilege. Like my beautiful friend, who I can't wait to hang out with. But the fact is, I don't think you think about that because you don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they go places where they don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's that same sort of like ingrained thing where they've just gotten used to it.
Yeah, and it's also in society and culture. I think it's this subliminal ingrained shame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So So as much as I said like 5 minutes ago that we do label too much, and I still believe we do, but I understand the safety. You know what I mean?
I hope that things
Feeling
are better for the current and upcoming generation. So we talked a little bit last time about just the coming out process is different now than it was 10 or 20 or 30 years ago.
Exactly.
And it's, all the shit that's going on in the world.
Yes.
There are things that you can look at and be like, that is actually better than it was when I was 20 years old.
It's also why I look at things like future elections and go, let's not go backwards. Because it can, as we live through, it can change a lot of attitudes depending on who's leading you
and who they put on the Supreme Court, for example.
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly.
I mean, as terrible as he was, that's probably the worst thing that came out of that. Whole presidency.
Yeah. And
most things you can fix.
That is a lifetime appointment.
Yeah.
Is the other thing that I don't think a lot of people understand or think about. It's gross.
And 3 is like unheard of. And the fact that it's like somebody that nobody thought was going to be president.
Yeah.
That the overwhelming majority of Americans, like even on the Republican side,
right?
They might have voted for him, but they're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that he had that privilege of appointing 3 Supreme Court judges. Like,
right. Well, and then let's be honest. There was supposed to be one appointed at the end of Obama's term, and they did everything in their power to block it. How? Yeah,
that's the game.
That's it right there. It's a game. That's what's disgusting.
Yeah.
The new Hunger Games is coming out. Go look at that, because that's our future.
Yeah. And that's the problem with politics, is that they're both just like trying to figure out what's the best game that's going to get us ahead.
Yeah.
Where meanwhile, real people's lives are being affected.
Yeah. And now that we see more and more the widening of the income gap and everything, it's becoming more and more real for people who have less and less power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is why vote in your town, vote local.
Register.
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah. So, see, this is how conversations go with me. We're going to start here with how hot is FDR when he was 20, and then we're going to go here.
Well, after the last podcast, I was like, oh my God, we were all over the place. Nobody's going to listen to this.
People love that. I think maybe because they're used to me by now.
Yeah.
And, I've been in this game.
Well, that's like how real conversations go.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of all over the place.
Yeah, you don't even want to. We just had, we did our very first on-location kind of coffee shop. It was Lunarium, which is the only late-night coffee shop and tea house in Spokane. Lovely people who own it. And we have Jared Lyons Wolf on, and he is just the funniest comedian. So amazing. And so we just sat you can hear everybody clinking their glasses.
Fun.
And it was so much fun, but we talked about what's it like to go to coffee with Jonathan. I'm like, let me tell you, I can clear a room within minutes because whoever I'm there with, we are the party.
Yep.
And so it's not going to be quiet. It's going to be a lot of laughter, and I love it.
I can relate.
Yeah. See?
Loudest laugh in the room.
It's the most important.
It's a problem.
See, is it though? I'm like, those are my people. There's my tribe right there.
Yeah.
And I've been talked to at many a job because I have a loud laugh. And I just am exuberant.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny, there's one person at work, it's work, radio's upstairs, TV's downstairs.
Yeah.
And she's always like, oh, I know when you're in the building. She can hear me laugh through the floor into her office.
That is the best thing I've ever heard.
Which is funny because I work alone most of the time. So I'm either just like, I don't know, by myself looking at something on the internet, or happen to be on a wild and crazy Zoom call. I don't know.
I freaking love anybody that can laugh. We were just talking about this at my day job the other day, saying it just means we're really smart. That's what we've heard.
Sure, I'll take it.
And we're gonna go.
I like
it. Go with it. I mean it. Like if you're not enjoying things thoroughly,
it's a new tribe.
Matter. Yeah, right. Hey, we will make new tribes. Well, and then I was thinking we have our Queerdos, which is our fan base.
Love it.
And I'm like, oh, that's like having a tribe because everybody who has a group that follow them, they all name them.
Well, you have to have a name.
Yeah. So, I mean, we create
part
tribes.
of the membership.
Yes.
You need T-shirts.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, we are...
Pins?
We're doing Queerdo T-shirts.
Okay.
I've had many people who have taken the hashtag because they love it, and I'm like, more power to you.
Yeah.
But remember who your daddy is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Can't take you anywhere.
I love it. Speaking of who's your daddy, we're doing our... holiday photo shoot. So if you guys are curious, we actually shoot it at the end of, I'm looking over at Kurt over there. November. beginning of November, because it comes out, of course, 12 Days of Christmas.
Sure.
We do 12 days. So talk about we're using Atomic Threads, who've been on here, we're using their dungeon for it.
Great.
So I'm super excited. Talk about Queerdos. Wear your Queerdo with pride is all I'm saying to you.
So who's involved in your shoot?
Who isn't? Kurt's the conceptual, because last year it was such a hit that we're like, oh, well, we have to kind of up our game.
Yeah.
So we do have a new concept.
Great.
We always do the naughty and nice. That's
Sure.
our thing. We like to write, because we like to be body positive, and we like to have a little fun, little sexy fun.
And how are you doing the nice in a dungeon?
Oh, we can, because because I'm such an angel. That's where my brand will come through, right? There are ways. You'll be surprised, and you guys will just have to, order a poster, whatever you want to do. But John is back. John, last time was such a hit that he had to autograph these 8x10s so that we could send them to people, because people really wanted it. So John will be doing the shoot again, and then there's a whole crew this time. So it's going to be more people than just John and I. But me in every picture, bitches, so just be okay with that.
Johnny show.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited. John signed back on. Our creative director, Laura, signed back on. And then Kurt's going to be there. And he will tell me the same thing every time. You're not working for me, Jonathan. You're not working. Which is listen, everybody else will be treated like kings and queens. And then there's me. Oh, and there's women in this one this year. So we're excited. We're expanding.
Fun.
I know. So it should be fun. And if you know anything about Tina and Mike over at Atomic Threads, who are helping out, it's going to get crazy.
Perfect.
So
it's the best way to do it.
There's stocks. I'm just going to say that. The stockades are downstairs where you head and arms through. And the firemen have been there before using them for fun times. So hoping they'll come back.
Perfect.
And then I'll be there.
Throw the firemen into the chute?
Yeah. And then maybe get a drink after. I've dated a fireman before, so they're fun. That's all I'm going to say to that. But one of the things when I was having you back, people are like, oh, you're having Ian back again. What are you going to do? I'm like, just hang out, basically.
Yeah.
I'll
chat
see
about
these
some
podcasts
things
where I'm like, they like sitting on a couch. Like, it's so relaxed.
Yeah.
And it's just them talking about shit. I'm like, I want to do that. I'm so organized. Like a proper game
Yeah.
man. I thought I would try that kind
Just
of.
a round table couch situation.
Which, another thing, speaking of which, you're going to be on a show in the future where it is a round table situation.
Okay.
And it's where we're going to talk about
Boy Slut.
Boy Slut, which Zachary Zane, who I was talking to him the other day, and I said, we're going to actually do a little book review with a bunch of us guys who've read the book, and he's so excited. I'm like, you can come.
Yeah.
You can come on over to Spokane. We'd love to have you. He's an amazing, just a sweetheart. So yeah, you're going to be doing that with me. There's a group of 5 of us from all walks of life. Very diverse group, but I'm excited to get everybody who's read it. If you haven't read the book yet, you can go to Auntie's and get that book. Did you get it audio or did you go to Auntie's?
Auntie's, yeah.
See?
They had it in stock.
It gives me a lot of respect for Auntie's, to be honest.
They have, it's not a huge section, but they have a great section of LGBTQ books.
Yeah, I always walk that little aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to see.
Yeah.
And you can get this, and Boy Slut, I told Zachary that we were doing everything we could to get him on the New York Times bestseller list.
Hey, let's do it.
So we're going to do our version of the Oprah Book Club, and it's going to be...
You need a sticker to slap on the front.
I do, and then it'll be an inappropriate one. And
even better.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name.
We'll make some calls.
Yeah, exactly. We'll come up with a name on our little round table.
I love it.
But it's going to be a good group of people. But I wanted to play a game with you.
Okay.
Because people are so... I've got to keep the brand. Hold on. There, brand. People are so intrigued by you. And before we get to that, I have opinions on why.
Okay.
Other than people are thirsty. I get that. But at the same time, because your world, when it comes to what you do for a day job, I think is way more curated. A little more controlled chaos.
Yes, definitely.
Than a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'm not beholden to the same sort of rules that you are, and the FCC
the
and all of that.
The FCC's not involved.
Exactly. So I think part of it is, I'm sure, like me, so many people have heard your voice for a very long time. But they're now getting to see
some opinion.
A little peek behind the curtain.
Well,
Do
that's
you
the other
think?
thing. I mean, it's like opinion light
Yeah.
because you are appealing to so many people
Yeah.
about so many things, and it's not like you don't necessarily fake it, but
Right.
you don't always say exactly what you think.
It's kind of like watching, in a way, watching the news.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
there's ways there'll be personalities for your anchors, but at the same time,
Yeah.
they got to keep those personalities within some
Right.
set parameters.
'Cause, I mean, you have your advertisers that you have to be sensitive about, and even like, opinions on artists, things like
Yeah.
that. Well,
oh yeah, when you play them, and that's
yeah,
the
you
thing.
have relationships with all these record labels, so you
Right.
also don't want to necessarily say what you think about
Right.
their
You
star
have to
artists
walk-
or something like that.
See, I'm an asshole. So, but I was actually having this conversation with the wonderful ladies who own Trendy Northwest magazine.
Yeah.
And they were saying, as it gets more and more, I mean, because they're doing it really well, as they get more and more readers,
Yeah.
they will have advertisers who have opinions that they would like to say,
Yeah.
could you guys do more of this? So they say they have to walk that line all the time of saying, we don't want to change how we've created this
Yeah.
just because you're giving us money, but at the same time, they're giving you money.
Right.
So it's something you have to take
Sure.
into account.
I mean, that's where the paychecks come from
Exactly.
at the end of the day.
I would like to have the problem of taking this into account. So go to my Patreon and pay me money. But it is funny. So when I look at indie work or podcasting is still not a regulated thing. So this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And we just had on actor Jonathan Slavin to talk about the strike, because the strike, it has a lot to do with that kind of work out there.
Right.
And so there's all these regulations, and then what do you do in the meantime? Well, a lot of them will go do indie stuff that doesn't have contracted players,
Like
contracted
stand
writers.
up or
Exactly,
yeah.
and they get more freedom there. Or lucky Jonathan is in a new play, Freud on Cocaine, because the Playhouse's theater contracts were worked out, a few months
Right.
back, and they were able to. So that's why I always say support your indie.
Yep.
Go and do indie videos and movies, and because you have more freedom there.
Yeah.
But you still come to this show, so
Of course, and I always will.
and it's fun. And so the fun part about this is we are going to get to know more about.
Oh, boy.
Ian. For your fan base, we'll have to name your fans.
Oh, God.
For your fan base, these are pretty easy. These are the things that everybody, like the 12-year-old, wants to know.
Okay.
But
So these
I
shouldn't
want
be
it to
too hard.
No, they should. Well, none of them should, because they're about your opinion. on
Okay,
things, right?
perfect.
But keep in mind, it's called Getting to Know Ian Kelly, and 10 rapid-fire questions.
Oh,
so
boy.
it's a lot like word association.
Okay.
The minute I say it, say whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
Don't think. Just say.
Ooh, okay.
And then we're going to do 10 questions, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh, here we go.
Kurt, in post, you need to put up some pressure music, and we'll put sweat on Ian's
And like
face.
a timer.
Exactly. Okay, so as fast as you can.
Okay.
We're going to start easy and get not as easy. Favorite food?
Chicken nuggets.
Oh, those are good. Favorite color?
Green or blue.
We're going to have to talk about
It's
some
gonna
of
go
these
all over the
answers.
place.
Favorite movie?
Lord of the Rings is what I think is probably the best movie that's ever been made.
Nice.
Probably ever.
Which one? All of the trilogy, or just...
Well, I mean, Return of the King is the best
amazing,
one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
And then they
all
did The
one.
Hobbit. And we
that was
won't-
terrible.
we won't
No, we
talk
can't
about
talk about that. And I don't even know if I can talk about them remaking The Lord of the Rings. Why are you remaking the best movie that's ever happened?
That makes me so mad. You know what that is? That's Hollywood not having an imagination.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
Just cashing in.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Favorite musical artist?
Can we do by genre, maybe?
Give me what you
well,
got.
I mean, I love Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Hardcore Swiftie.
Good.
Taylor Swift for president. Whatever
Right?
you want to do, I'm all
Tay,
about
we're
it.
with you.
I'm a big rock fan too, though. So I really
Okay.
like rock music. I'm really into the band Ghost right now.
I don't think I
all the
know.
theatrical.
Oh,
It's really good. They're kind of like a devilly Catholic church
Is this like
is their
Guar?
vibe.
Remember Guar?
It's performative like that, but
Okay.
not that kind of music.
Right.
They sound more
Okay.
like it's like a harder Boston, as hilarious as that sound.
Harder Boston.
It's a real like 70s like a harder 70s
Also,
vibe.
that should be Boston's
They're really good.
new,
I'll send you some.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, so I'm really into them right now. I love Metallica.
Oh, you can't go wrong with, especially some of their solid.
Well, and the Metallica haters, it's like the Taylor Swift haters.
Yeah.
It's like, you know they're good.
Yeah.
You're just not liking them on principle, and you don't have to like them, but you don't have to bash them.
You know, or if you're like me, and I admit that in this place, if everybody likes someone, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna like them.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
And
I always end up coming back.
And all of their favorite bands, like all of their favorite rock bands, will all be like, Metallica's our biggest inspiration.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
I just had an open house at the place I work for a day job, and and thank God my CEO, she loves Metallica. So we ended up playing. I'm like, it's a tailgate party. We should be able to play this.
Yeah, they're just
love
good.
it. Okay, favorite song right now.
Right now, I'm like singing "Cruel Summer" in my head because it's the catchiest thing ever, and it was on the radio on the way here.
They knew what they were doing,
and we play it every 90 minutes right now.
Right.
That's a whole other conversation. So that's probably stuck in my head the most right now.
But you have one that. So what's a one of your favorite songs, just that you always your go-to?
Always go to. Right now, I would say I've been big. I saw Ghost last month, so they're also heavy rotation
I can't wait to
right
hear
now.
this. Yeah.
Heavy rotation. So I would say one of their songs.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I can get down, and we'll see if I can't wait to hear them. I'm sure I'll love them.
You're gonna be like, never mind, that guy's never coming back.
You are canceled. Favorite hotspot.
Favorite hotspot?
Yeah.
Like
out there.
I'm just like going to hang out or
not work.
Love Liberty Lake Wine Cellars. Shout out.
Nice. Okay.
He'll take a sponsorship.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah, love the couple that owns it, and I genuinely think that is probably the best wine from this whole area.
Interesting.
Really good.
I didn't know it was out there. Now I have to go.
Yeah, really good. And I live out that way, so
it's nice.
It is some of the best. And there's a brewery out in Liberty Lake that I also love as well, Snow Eater Brewing.
Not heard of that, Snow Eater.
Great beer.
Well, now there's
I
two
host
places
trivia
we
there
have
on
to go
Tuesdays.
Oh, that's where you host trivia.
Yeah.
I was having that conversation too about where you host trivia, and also that we all need to get together.
Yes.
To go to what's it called? Brick Brown.
Brick West.
Brick West. I am the worst person. Brown Brick. Yeah, that's it. No. Okay, 2 seconds or less to answer.
Okay.
Favorite underwear?
Brand or style?
Style.
Probably a jockstrap.
Because we talked about this.
It's like,
jockstrap or what's the other one?
Or brief. Like, what do I wear more of?
Because we gave advice on the last show. So
they're just comfortable.
Wanted to talk.
It's
I
something
agree with
straight
this.
men are sleeping on the jockstrap.
Straight men are sleeping on most underwear styles.
Yes.
Let's be very,
yes.
Listen, straight guys, if you would like to show me that that's not true, you can slide into my DMs. But it's true, and they don't understand. A lot of them don't understand the jockstrap comfort thing. Because listen, back in the 70s, I get it. It was used for function.
Well, and you
took it.
The one white style, like the ribbed.
Right, and now we will wear that to a club because it's like the retro
vintage.
Sexy.
Yeah.
But you know how many styles are out there?
Oh, I know.
So many, right? So exactly. So I'll encourage you guys. I've met some gay men. Now I don't think there's a lot of them left anymore who have told me that they think that's ridiculous that gay guys are just wearing them as lingerie. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
it's comfortable.
Why is this a problem?
And they're the ones that are buying like the 12-pack of Hanes.
Oh, and please, we already said on the last time you were on, don't do that. What are you doing? But okay, so I can get down with that.
I have a friend, so she started buying underwear for her husband. She didn't like what her husband was wearing, so she signed up for Underwear Expert.
Oh, which is amazing.
Great service, yeah.
Yeah.
And started getting him jocks, thongs, like the whole
Was
works.
he down?
Oh, he loved it. Loved it.
This is an amazing idea that it had not crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Like, if you are a woman and you have a husband and you want to buy them, or if you are a guy, because, we're all built very, some guys just don't know style, including underwear. So if you have a partner, they can do that same thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
And you get to pick what you want to see him in.
And
it started out for her, but then he was like, oh my God, why haven't I been wearing these?
Can I be honest? I think I need to do this with my next relationship because it never fails. I'm way more adventurous, and I need to see. I need to help these guys out. That's a brilliant idea.
Well, and because I have 2 underwear subscription services, which is just
That is
ludicrous.
hilarious.
Ludicrous. One through them, and then one through MeUndies.
Which you were telling me is actually good.
I like for different the MeUndies underwear, they're like the most comfortable. Whatever that material is, most comfortable.
So I've been curious, but I don't
But they're not
love
always
their...
the sexiest.
Like
they're
my thing.
Yeah. So if you want the fun styles, you have to do Underwear Expert. But if it's a day that you're like,
can they meld whatever material they're using with Andrew Christian, his stylist?
Sure, I like
let's
it.
see what that.
let's write some letters. Let's see what we can do.
This is what I'm thinking. Anytime you come on,
Make
we
some
have
calls.
to have our own underwear expert section because we always end up talking about it twice now as always.
Yes.
So we'll do it again at the book club. But those are so true.
For brand, wait, are we talking about? Did you ask me about brand?
Not
or
yet.
Did I just go?
Now
there?
it's good. Go
okay,
there.
Okay, great. I would say Pump is probably my favorite.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got fun styles, fun designs.
Yes, and there's another one I'm trying to think. So Pump is good, and I actually only recently discovered what they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really weird? A lot of these like sites you can go to meet people or whatever, they have started their own branding. Typically crap.
Yes.
Be honest, it's typically awful. But hold on, Adam for Adam. What the hell have they done? They have created an amazing store of all sorts of things, but it's quality. Their underwear is
really
quality. Yeah, I was shocked. And they do jocks and all of it.
My current one, same thing.
Yeah.
That I've been getting targeted ads for on Instagram.
Of course. Yeah.
Sniffies.
Wait, they have
a line of clothes.
Sniffies have a line of clothes?
Yes.
That's weird.
Underwear, bike shorts, shirts, tanks. Oh yeah.
Wait,
all of it.
Have you tried any of them?
I've not tried them.
Now I'm curious.
But the marketing is good.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
the photos are good. They know what they're doing. They know who they're selling to.
I need to go. I did not even know they had.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's learned. I feel like Sniffies is the new hookup app that everybody knows about now, and no one knew. And out of nowhere, all of the podcasts are talking about them.
Yeah.
They'll get mentioned in some interview.
Well, the underwear thing is, they look good. I don't know how good they actually are, but the
That's
photos
what
that
I
they
want to
put
know.
up,
I'm gonna have to
you're
look.
like, that looks not bad. But then, are you really wearing underwear that says Sniffies across it?
I know, because
the slutty underwear is already kind of advertising, and then you add that piece, and you're like, we all know why you're here.
I do have to say that I have always questioned the name. Always.
Yes.
I get it, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, huh.
And how many domain names did they try to find that one?
Exactly.
They're like, oh shit, that one's taken.
Where did
What's
they
next?
start? Because you always start with something horrible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So where did we start from?
And what you wanted is
And
never
then
going to be available.
Ever.
You just have to settle.
Ever. Yes. I know. So even though, Sniffies is great, and now I need to check out the store aspect. I don't think I've ever... Is it on their website?
I've only seen it on Instagram.
See, exactly. But now I'm curious. So I need to try out their brand because I'm always worried because you think... But is that the same thing as thinking, like, way back in the day, a singer's only allowed to do one thing, like when Cher became an actress?
Right.
Like, no, you're not allowed.
We don't want to see that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's the same. I'll test my prejudice.
Well, review coming next time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now I'm very curious. But, okay, Sniffies brand... I'll give him a pass on the name, and we'll just see how it feels. Okay, see, I love these conversations. Okay, now, favorite activity.
I like going CrossFit, and I like video games. It's like best of both worlds. So
one of the things I didn't mention is,
either something that feels like you're literally about to drop dead, or I'm going to sit on the couch for the next 6 hours.
I feel like it balances you out.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? I forgot one of the labels is a gamer, Gaymer.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and there's a magazine
of course
called
there is.
Gamer. Yeah, because I know the editors of it, and they took off because there's a lot of gay gamers out there. My brother owns a gaming company. He's not gay, but he does all retro games from way back. So that's fascinating. Yes.
Yeah.
So what system do you play?
PS5.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
It's like you're hardcore one or the other.
Yeah.
And then like the Nintendo people, they're just like,
they're
in the middle. Yeah.
They're their own.
But yeah, PS5.
My brother has the PS5, and he also has He has the original Nintendo. He has an Atari.
Sure.
Yeah, so he has all the old school stuff.
Oh yeah. I never get rid of any of the other ones either.
Oh, why?
Well, and it's like, so I almost got rid of my PS4, but then you start thinking, and you're like,
yeah,
I played a lot of games on that, and they're all saved on there, and I'm literally never gonna plug that in and play it again. But it's the idea of like, I don't want to lose all of that.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna.
Because that also represents a lot of your
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah. When I was younger, me and my brother would play everything together, and it's very interesting that the man who went and got married and had 4 children makes time for it, and I haven't done games in years.
Right.
But I go every Saturday. It's tonight. He streams, and so I'll go, and it's always an old school. We've been doing Family Guy on the PS3, I think. Anyways, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's
but
fun.
I'm also going to send you.
And it's like the decompression time too.
Oh,
you know, you get home from work or whatever, and you're like,
Exactly.
I'm just gonna do this for a little
send you
bit.
the link to Gamer magazine.
Perfect.
Because it's actually a lot of fun.
Great.
And I don't even game. Okay, so gaming and CrossFit. Wow. Listen, I go to the gym and I'm just happy I make it out. But CrossFit is a whole other level.
The best thing though is they just tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Which I like versus like going to the gym and you're like, now I have to make decisions.
Yeah.
Which
because
is
you
exhausting.
like take a class, I guess.
Yeah. So that's
Whatever.
what it's like, an hour-long class. They have it all like written out.
Also, what I love
so
is
you just show up and they just make you do horrible things.
CrossFit is it's like the freedom of what you would normally do at a gym. Because if they I feel like they're going to tell you, drag this refrigerator. It's just random shit.
Yes.
Because across the parking lot from where I work is a CrossFit, and so I'll see people
tires
in the parking lot doing this random. I'm like, could you move my car? I mean, that'd be great. Yeah, you
my
guys
battery's dead. If you could just.
This is where the ropes
Yes.
are a thing. Do you do the ropes?
Yep.
I
Not
thought
often.
I should, but no.
It's harder than it looks.
Listen,
It's all harder than it looks.
It looks very hard. So
There's not a single day that by the end you're not like, this is the fucking dumbest thing that I've ever done.
But it's so good for your body though. It keeps you.
And then after you're like, oh, I did
Oh,
that.
I feel like
That's good. Yeah.
I also feel like, is aftermath also not painful?
At first it's terrible, but then
Yeah.
you just kind of like adjust. I mean, you're always like any kind of workout, like
Right.
You're sore.
See, I'm always sore because
Yeah.
I've been pushing harder lately, but I'm not even going to try it, so don't even give me messages or whatever. I'm not ever doing CrossFit. It just looks...
Well, and everything can be adjusted to what you can do. So
Yeah,
you're never
yeah.
doing something that you like physically can't do.
Do you know how I adjusted a CrossFit? I just leave.
You just don't
That
go.
is how...
I would tell you this. It
Yeah.
was last year or the year before at the CrossFit Games, oldest person was like 87 years old.
What?
87 years old.
And they'll never be 88 because they died, right? That's what... Also, did you say the CrossFit Games? What
Yeah.
are we saying?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's...
It's like an annual thing.
Are you serious? Do you do that?
Oh, God, no. I could never. I could never. But you would be interested in watching it.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt. Because my favorite thing is to sit at my desk and look out the window at the CrossFit people.
I do. They broadcast it live on YouTube. So
I will watch
it's worth
that.
the watch.
That's hilarious to me. CrossFit, like I have friends in LA,
Yeah.
you know, that's their thing. Because, first of all, I also, from what I understand, if you do hardcore CrossFit, you're going to get a quicker and tougher result. Then, if you're me and you go, which I don't care because I'm not in a hurry.
Right.
So I'm fine with that.
And there's like a whole joke about how like, oh, I've been doing CrossFit for 5 years, still no abs.
Are you
Which is-
serious?
yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, because
Whoa.
you have to eat a lot too.
True.
The people with
Right.
abs just don't eat,
No.
and I can't do that.
No. And let's be honest, Hollywood actors will say that a lot.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's hell. I
So
don't like doing
to do
this
something
role.
like that, you're also eating a lot. So
Yeah.
then it's.
See, I take
And I find that
protein.
most people
That's
like
it.
to go out for beer. I mean, it's like
See,
balance.
My goal is to stay alive, really, because I'm fine being a bear. Second is if I have muscle tone, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I can go have nachos and just feel like, listen,
Yep.
if it's a wash in
That's-
the end, I'm good with that.
That's why you do it, so you can go out and have some beers.
Right? Exactly. And honestly, as we get older, we got to do a little more.
That's right.
To be able to. Because you're younger than me, but we're in the same decade.
Yeah.
And
Same
it's-
brackets.
It changes.
Quickly too.
Oh, I hate it so. Yes, so fast.
Like I feel like within like a year or two,
Yeah.
like things are harder and you have to just work more
Yeah.
at things.
And listen, I don't want to share secrets out of turn. Plus, you guys should watch Bears of a Certain Age because we share these things all the time. My brother's birthday was the 20th, and mine follows 4 days later.
Yeah.
So he's 2 years younger than I am, so I always get to tell him the lay of the land. And he hit the age where that's when things started. Like, it was always something. you're not here yet, I don't think. 45, that's where you need to...
That's when
where it starts.
Things start breaking down.
That, so quickly and so surprisingly.
Yeah.
You're like, what? 45 is when it hit. That's when I went to the doctor. I'm like, we're going to talk
Something's
about something.
wrong.
Yeah. But so my brother is now 46, so he'll do it. But listen, age is just a number. Go out, but also be realistic and get your sleep. That's all. That's fine.
Drink your water, get your sleep.
Yes, very important if going to the gym at all. So that was your favorite activity. Favorite part of a man's body.
God, which way do we go on this?
You can go, what is your... it's not always... I mean, we all know where the main attraction is.
Right.
It's not always that. It's something that is just... I would
say legs.
Yeah.
Legs are... When you see a good set of legs, you just notice.
Why do I like going to the gym? I'm just saying.
But not everybody that goes to the gym has a good set of legs.
No!
I don't know how. I don't know what's going on here.
Because sometimes I notice that...
It's all chest and shoulders.
Yes!
Yeah.
And then they have these little legs.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's it. Yeah. No, it's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, good set of legs.
That's good. So, your current fiance?
Fiance, yeah.
Yes. So, is that what drew you to him?
Is that what?
What drew you to him?
You're
like, those are some good
It was
legs.
like everything that drew me to him.
Right.
I mean, we met so long ago.
So sweet.
And he was so opposite of the last person I was with.
I've been down that road
yeah.
too. That
yeah.
helps. But, okay, so legs I can do. For me, I have to say that, I don't know why, but it's the neck.
Sure,
Something about...
Like the jawline.
Yeah. It's just like, it's beautiful. Now, everything else I'll get to, but when you first meet someone, you're not seeing... Most of the time, you're not seeing that.
Right.
So, yeah, I love a good neck. Give me that. Not giraffe neck. I'm not looking for the swan.
No.
I am looking for the chiseled jaw. It's almost like there's a muscle part. Like, not a block. Like, my head goes from head to shoulder.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about, but a good neck. So send your pictures in. I'll be judging. And last but not least, you have all of 2 seconds to answer this. What's your favorite podcast?
The QueerCentric,
there
obviously.
We go! That was the test.
Wouldn't it be funny if I said something else, though?
That's why I wrote it, because that would be hilarious. You're like, I love this one show. Oh. Yeah,
I mean, I can give you a list of ones that I like.
Which I think is cool when people listen to podcasts, first of all.
I love podcasts, yeah.
Yeah.
And especially, because of the day job, that's not what I listen to.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm not getting paid, I'm probably not listening to that.
Have you noticed, but you've been in that music part of your job for a long time now, but this is what I noticed as I got older. Things started about, it used to be only music constantly 24/7. And then something happened where then I started, I want to hear talking with,
the podcast age is just kind of different. And I was reading an article recently about especially people that work alone listen to podcasts because they don't feel as alone.
Yeah, actually,
so that was an interesting thought because I also work a lot alone. So it's like,
see, that's crazy.
Feels like you're part of a conversation with somebody.
And so many people are doing the remote stuff anymore. Since COVID, they've never gone back to not. And they do. We have a lot of listeners who play us while they're working.
Sure.
Which I'm always like, your boss isn't around, right? But and I'll hear from them.
Wearing headphones, right?
Exactly. I'll get notes all the time. I'm listening to this right now. This was great when you said this. And I'm like, So it's nice to have someone. Like in the morning, I go to my day job really early because I have other things I want to work on.
Yeah.
So to do that, you have to start really early in the morning. But I'll listen to also audiobooks sometimes.
Sure.
I love to read, but sometimes I just need...
I can't get into the audiobook.
Really?
It feels like cheating almost.
I will say there's
I understand
there's that feel. So I only listen to books that I wouldn't read.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just finished Matthew Perry's autobiography.
Nice.
Who of course was on Friends. It's horrible.
Really?
So, sorry guys, you might like it.
Did he narrate it?
He narrated it, which I prefer listening to either someone there's one I'm going to start listening to that Meryl Streep narrates, and I'm down.
Yeah.
But I typically like to hear the author or someone that I find interesting.
Right.
But it's always going to be a book that I wouldn't because I love tangible books.
Yeah, I do too.
So if it's not going to be one I'm going to invest in, okay, then it's
we'll listen to that. That's the background at work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that people, maybe in our roundtable first book club, I'll talk about it, but it's very whiny.
Don't make us read it then.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, exactly. And today we're going to read my least favorite book of all time. Yeah. We only do queer books in our queer book club, and they're
Perfect.
all super fun.
They're all great.
I know, they are all amazing. But, yeah, so you should try one that you... In the morning, if I'm, like, taking a shower or I'm just getting ready for work, that's when I listen to an audiobook.
In the background? Okay.
When I'm in my day, I don't because... And if I get home and I'm not watching TV or whatever, I'll read an actual book. So
Yeah.
I'm always reading 80 of them that I can.
Of course.
But try a good audio, and don't let it be Matthew Perry's.
Okay, perfect. I won't.
I know. There you go. But the Meryl Streep one, I'm down. Yeah, that'll be good. So we'll see what happens.
I'll give one a go.
So those are 10 rapid fire questions for you super fans out there to get to know.
Some of them were a little
more.
rough.
They were a little rough.
They were a little rough.
I mean, I feel like you at least answer all in a truthful, authentic way.
Of course.
Some led to more fun conversations than others.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to have a fun conversation about color.
I mean, it. Oh yeah, I wanted to go back to that. So it maybe is
that.
blue or maybe it's green.
Well, I guess it depends on the day. So,
You're like, I don't have a strong opinion about my favorite color.
I feel like I wear more green.
Yeah.
And if I'm buying,
Why?
like, I just like how it looks.
Yeah. So I would say most people, but most guys especially, we do things especially here because of what it does for our eyes, right?
Yeah.
Does that have something to do with it?
No, I don't think
no.
so. I got just like a darker green.
So
like
a darker green, like a forest.
Forest or like an olivey or...
Okay. Or the other one was maybe blue.
Yeah, maybe blue.
Maybe blue.
I like blue as well.
That works though. That works. See,
I feel like if I'm just thinking if I'm going out and buying something that I'm going to wear, it's probably one of those two.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's an interesting thing because I am very solid. My favorite color is red. It always has been red. But I don't think I would ever wear a red shirt because talk about what it does to my skin. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
So I would never buy. I buy blue because of my eyes.
Yeah.
And because I have this nifty little trick if we go on a date, where I like to do this whole thing where I'll wear my glasses, and then I'll wear a blue shirt because it pops my blue eyes out, and then I'll do this and I'll act like my eyes are tired, and I'll take my glasses off, and I'll
whip
like
your
this.
hair around.
Right, and I'll just rub my eyes, and then I snap up. Like this, guaranteed 98% of the time, like, your
seals
eyes
the deal.
are beautiful. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. Look into them. But I would never wear, I don't think I would ever buy red, though.
So my color that I would not wear that I do like would be orange.
Oh, yeah.
But I would wear like orange, like an orange watch band or like a pop of orange somewhere.
Like that. Okay, I do like that where you get to flash something on it. Orange
but I can't imagine wearing, I could not wear an orange anything.
But fall is here.
Yeah.
And orange
like
is such a beautiful part of it. So I want to be able to wear it.
Yeah.
But no. Sometimes you need friends to be like, I know you want to.
Or like a bright yellow. I can't wear that either.
Oh, yeah. And also such a great... Yeah, then you have to get to the pop-up colors.
Yeah.
Speaking of clothes to wear, I will say I'm so excited that I can start wearing sweatshirts again.
Me too. Yesterday was the first day.
Oh,
I loved
this is my first day. I'm so happy.
Congratulations.
I know. Because it's finally like we're not done with, like we haven't gotten into winter, thank God, and don't even come for me.
Well, and it's that weird time where like right now it's almost a little too warm outside.
Yes.
But then at 5 p.m. it's going to be too cold.
5 p.m. or 5 a.m. Both of those, I'm like, what is happening? I need to get
a double outfit kind of time of year.
But sweatshirts. I have so many sweatshirts, it's not even funny.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's also something else that more than one friend has told me that, so I need your opinion on.
Okay.
It's good, those of us who enjoy the male form, it is gray sweatpants season. And I was like,
who's mad about that?
Nobody. How can you be mad about that?
But it was already kind of gray sweat short season.
I know, which I was okay with.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, and so I like those guys who embrace it. You know what I mean?
Why not?
And by embrace it, we get to see something in that.
Yeah, why not? Well, and that also ties into the sexy underwear conversation.
Actually, yes, very much so. Which also important. But you know what's funny is I don't wear sweats ever.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just not my thing. When I go to the gym, it can be ask Kurt. It can be, 20 below.
Right.
I'm going to wear shorts to the gym.
Yeah.
I just feel more movement. And I think it's because I have been a big guy almost all my life. So there is a frumpiness that you feel. I think it's just innately.
Yeah.
So I don't I enjoy being a spectator. But I don't participate in them. Do you or your guy participate?
So I do wear sweat shorts.
Okay,
I pretty much
smart.
lived in them for the last 3 months. Well, and again, because I work alone, like,
Yeah.
nobody sees me. So,
Is that what you would wear if you did CrossFit?
no, I'm very particular. Again, if it's like you're going to the gym or something, it's
Right.
like certain pairs of shorts, certain pairs of underwear,
Yeah.
only these shirts. Like,
And also,
these are
I'm
the only
not-
ones I can do that
Yeah,
in.
I'm not looking to like lose a ball. That's all I have to say. You
Correct.
know, there's very specific things you need to be aware of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I do have one pair of gray sweatpants.
Yeah.
Which I do like. They're not frumpy because they were a small fortune from Lululemon.
Oh. First of all, great clothing, but
And
talk about a small fortune.
Being tall, they're also one of the only places that I can find things like that are
Yeah.
long enough.
I just wish it didn't cost so much.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I'm like, listen, I need my paycheck.
They
this
do
month.
last though. I mean, I bought them
That's
years
good.
ago.
Yeah, they're very durable.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't wear them a ton, but here and there.
Right. Okay, I can get down with that. I will be, in the next few weeks, I'll be spending a lot of time in Riverfront Park doing video shoots and photo shoots, and it's the best place to go if you want to see some great
Yes.
sweatpants.
Absolutely, and it is the
Yeah.
season.
You know, it is. So, see, so many things. You can like your pumpkin spice, whatever. I'm not a fan. You can like it, and I'm going to go out and have my,
You
know.
can like it all. You
Yeah.
can like them both.
Yeah. So
fine.
I want to hear what you love about fall. Please, comment. That's the word I'm looking for. Comment below.
Leave your
and
gray
let us know.
sweatpant pictures.
I am always accepting pictures. Let me see. We got to almost everything.
Hey, great.
I know. I only had a few things. So I had a guest. I never share my questions really with guests. I like spontaneous. We've been asked for so many years, even when we did the radio show. Everybody wants, because everybody's worried. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, just rest assured, I'm not coming for you.
It's not going to be a gotcha moment.
Exactly. That's not my goal.
Yeah.
Like, there's other shows, that's their thing. But for the very first time, I did an interview, and he was so, like, really wanting to know. And so then I showed, I don't ever write questions. I never write them.
Yeah.
I write thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's not going to make sense to you.
Bullet points.
Yeah. I'm like, it's only going to make sense to me. It's something to jog my memory. Sometimes I will just write something down that made me think.
Yeah.
So it's always fascinating. But we did, in my notes, we did everything. And you guys better thank me for getting you all the pieces of information that you've been wanting to know about Ian Kelly.
Hilarious.
Thank you for being on.
Of course.
This works well in relationships. You need to be like, oh, you wouldn't believe how many people wanted to know all these things. And then, you get a good a few weeks
Hey,
out
I
of it.
like answering questions.
I know.
If there's any more,
And listen, I
them
want to
on
know
here.
more. I want to know your thoughts on this interview. I think this was a more relaxed interview for us.
all over the place.
Yeah, which is our brand, really. But please continue watching. You can check out our show every Tuesday on thequeercentric.com. Remember to check out our other great shows. You can check out Mindful Mondays with my friend and counselor, Holly McGinnis. And you can watch Bears of a Certain Age, where we will get more into the creaks and the things that happen as we get older. But also, we'll get into the life and sex is still fun after 40, just so you know. So we'll talk about all of those things. Ian's going to be back in the very near future when we talk about the amazing book Boy Slut. If you want to be part of that conversation and you haven't bought the book yet, please go buy it, read it. It's an amazing read. But if you are a little prudish, it might scar you. Because you cannot be a prude and read that book. But he'll be back, and give us, if you have any questions for Ian, I will pass them along. And then we'll decide which ones he wants to answer for you. But until next time, everybody, bye! Please follow us on Patreon to support the Queerdos and all the work we do. Patreon.com/thequeercentric.